The security guard laughed before the expensive glass doors even had a chance to open. A few executives waiting in the lobby glanced toward the man standing alone at the entrance and quietly shook their heads. His faded shirt, worn shoes, and old backpack made him look completely out of place in a building filled with luxury suits and polished marble floors. The whispers spread quickly, and one senior executive smiled with open disrespect, convinced that this stranger had wandered into the wrong place. No one noticed the quiet confidence in his eyes. No one imagined that only a few minutes later, the company's powerful chairman would personally walk through those same doors, ignore every executive standing in line, and shake the stranger's hand first. That single moment would expose pride, reveal hidden character, and remind everyone watching that true greatness never wears a price tag. Before we continue this unforgettable story, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Hardworking Dad if you believe that kindness and second chances can change someone's life forever. Your support helps us continue bringing emotional stories that inspire millions around the world. Morning sunlight spread across the city skyline as people hurried toward the towering headquarters of Hartwell Global Industries. Luxury cars rolled into the underground parking area while business leaders walked confidently through the revolving doors carrying leather briefcases and expensive coffee cups. Everyone appeared certain of their importance. They measured success by appearance, titles, and wealth. Standing quietly across the street was a man named Rowan Mercer. At first glance he looked ordinary, almost invisible. His jacket had clearly survived many winters, his backpack had been repaired several times with careful stitching, and his hands carried the rough marks of years spent doing honest work. Yet behind those tired eyes lived remarkable patience built through hardship that very few could understand. Rowan had once dreamed of becoming an engineer. As a young man he earned excellent grades and secured an internship with a respected manufacturing company. His future looked bright until tragedy struck without warning. His father passed away after a sudden illness, leaving Rowan responsible for his younger siblings and his aging grandmother. College plans disappeared almost overnight. Every opportunity was sacrificed so his family could survive. He worked construction during the day, repaired machinery at night, and accepted every difficult job that others refused. Years passed while his own dreams remained quietly locked away behind responsibility. Although life tested him repeatedly, he never complained. Instead, he became known in his neighborhood as the man who would always help others before helping himself. Unknown to almost everyone, Rowan possessed extraordinary technical talent. During late evenings after exhausting workdays, he continued designing affordable manufacturing systems inside old notebooks. He believed that one day industries could become more efficient while creating better opportunities for ordinary workers. His ideas were practical rather than glamorous. He never had investors, expensive software, or influential connections. All he had was determination and countless handwritten pages filled with calculations, sketches, and solutions developed through years of real-life experience. Several weeks earlier, Hartwell Global had announced an innovation challenge. Anyone with a breakthrough manufacturing solution could submit proposals directly to the chairman's office. Thousands applied. Rowan mailed his designs without expecting much. Days later he received an invitation requesting his presence at headquarters for a private evaluation. The invitation carried the chairman's signature, but Rowan assumed it was simply another routine interview. He had no reason to expect anything extraordinary. As he approached the entrance, the contrast between him and the luxurious surroundings became painfully obvious. People entering the building barely acknowledged him. Some looked away while others quietly judged him before knowing anything about his life. A group of executives waiting for a visiting investor exchanged amused smiles after noticing Rowan carefully checking the invitation letter folded inside his worn notebook. Their expressions reflected the unfortunate habit of confusing expensive clothing with intelligence. The receptionist accepted invitations from several guests with warm professionalism. When Rowan reached the desk, however, her welcoming smile faded into hesitation. She glanced at his appearance before slowly reading the official invitation twice, clearly wondering whether some mistake had occurred. Instead of immediately helping him, she requested additional verification while several executives watched with growing amusement. Every passing second became increasingly uncomfortable, yet Rowan remained respectful. Years of hardship had taught him that anger rarely solved anything. Quiet dignity often spoke much louder. One executive finally stepped forward wearing an expensive tailored suit and a confident smile that carried very little kindness. He casually suggested that perhaps Rowan had misunderstood the invitation or arrived at the wrong building. Several others chuckled politely, convinced they were witnessing an awkward misunderstanding. Rowan simply stood patiently without defending himself. Deep inside, painful memories resurfaced. He remembered countless moments when employers overlooked him because of appearance rather than ability. He remembered watching wealthier applicants receive opportunities despite lacking experience. Still, he refused to let bitterness define his character. While silence filled the lobby, something unexpected happened upstairs. Chairman Alden Whitmore had been reviewing security camera footage before beginning an important board meeting. His attention suddenly fixed upon the man waiting near the entrance. The chairman recognized Rowan instantly from the remarkable proposal he had personally studied the previous evening. After reading hundreds of submissions, Rowan's practical innovations had stood above every other application. Even more impressive than the technical brilliance was the handwritten letter explaining how the designs would protect factory workers while reducing unnecessary waste. It revealed a heart guided by compassion rather than personal profit. Without informing anyone, Chairman Whitmore left the boardroom and walked directly toward the lobby. Board members, investors, and senior executives followed behind, confused by his sudden departure. Employees throughout the building watched with curiosity as the company's most respected leader hurried downstairs with unusual determination. Moments later the lobby doors opened again. Every conversation immediately stopped. Executives straightened their jackets, expecting the chairman to greet the visiting investors first. Instead, he walked confidently past everyone waiting in line. Without hesitation, he extended both hands toward Rowan Mercer. His warm smile reflected genuine admiration rather than formal politeness. Cameras from the corporate communications team happened to capture the unforgettable moment as the chairman welcomed Rowan like an honored guest whose arrival mattered more than anyone else's. Shock spread across every face in the lobby. The same executives who had quietly mocked Rowan now struggled to understand what they were witnessing. The chairman publicly thanked Rowan for his extraordinary ideas and praised the compassion visible throughout his proposal. He explained that technical excellence could always be taught, but integrity, humility, and concern for ordinary people were qualities too valuable to ignore. Those words echoed across the silent lobby, reaching every employee standing nearby. The atmosphere changed completely. Staff members who moments earlier had overlooked Rowan suddenly saw him differently. Yet Rowan himself remained exactly the same. He accepted the chairman's welcome with humility, showing neither pride nor resentment toward those who had judged him unfairly. That simple grace impressed Chairman Whitmore even more than the engineering proposal itself. As they walked together through the building, Rowan noticed photographs lining the hallways showing decades of company history. Many displayed workers proudly standing beside newly built factories rather than wealthy executives accepting awards. The chairman explained that the company's original founder believed businesses existed to improve lives, not simply increase profits. Unfortunately, over the years some leaders had forgotten that principle. Rowan quietly listened while realizing that perhaps this opportunity carried greater purpose than personal success. Inside the executive conference room, board members carefully examined Rowan's handwritten notebooks. Instead of sophisticated digital presentations, they found years of carefully organized calculations, field observations, and practical improvements inspired by real factory experience. Every page reflected patience, discipline, and remarkable attention to detail. Rowan explained how dangerous equipment could become safer without increasing production costs. He demonstrated methods for reducing waste while creating better working conditions for employees. His ideas were not based on theories alone. They came from years spent beside hard-working people whose voices rarely reached executive offices. Hours passed as engineers verified his calculations. Financial analysts reviewed the projected savings. Safety specialists confirmed the improvements. One by one, every department reached the same conclusion. Rowan's solutions possessed enormous potential. More importantly, they reflected a mindset centered on helping people rather than chasing recognition. Chairman Whitmore watched quietly throughout the presentations. He understood that remarkable businesses were built not only by brilliant strategies but also by individuals whose values inspired trust. Rowan represented exactly that kind of leadership. Despite years of sacrifice, disappointment, and invisible struggles, he had never abandoned kindness or integrity. Success had not created his character. Hardship had. By late afternoon, sunlight poured through the conference room windows as final evaluations concluded. The executives who had mocked Rowan earlier could barely meet his eyes. Many privately realized how quickly they had judged someone based entirely upon appearance. Their embarrassment became an unforgettable lesson that expensive clothing could never replace genuine wisdom. Before this beautiful story reaches its emotional ending, we have one small request. Please leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and share one act of kindness that changed your life. Your stories inspire others just as much as ours. Chairman Whitmore stood before everyone gathered in the conference room and announced that Rowan Mercer would not simply receive recognition for his proposal. He would be invited to lead an entirely new innovation division dedicated to improving workplace safety and creating opportunities for overlooked talent across the company. The decision surprised even Rowan himself. Tears quietly formed in his eyes as years of sacrifice, exhaustion, and silent perseverance finally found meaning. He thought about his late father, his grandmother, and the countless nights spent studying by a dim kitchen light after finishing exhausting shifts. Every difficult moment suddenly felt worthwhile. When Rowan stepped outside the headquarters that evening, the same city looked completely different. The golden sunlight reflected against the glass towers while ordinary workers walked home after long shifts. Rowan smiled because he knew his greatest achievement was not receiving a prestigious position. His greatest victory was proving that humility could overcome arrogance, character could defeat prejudice, and genuine kindness would always outshine expensive appearances. The handshake that morning had changed far more than one man's future. It reminded an entire company that true leadership begins by seeing the value in people long before the world applauds them. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Hardworking Dad for more emotional stories that remind us why kindness still matters. Never judge a person by their clothes, because sometimes the quiet stranger standing at the front door is the one destined to change everyone's future.